And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. Welcome back to Laurel Park for the Capital Meet. I'm Dave Rodman. Keith Fusel not here today. He's on Equibase assignment where the turf meets the surf down at Old Del Mar. But
Wonderful.
Emily
wonderful.
Fuster is here to guide us through the card
Hello.
as well. She has some opinions on today's program. So do I. We have plenty of videos as well. Nice weather to start the Laurel Park
Beautiful
Capital
out.
Meet. Horses
Beautiful
must
out.
love it in the morning. Yep.
It's a little bit cooler. It feels good.
Yeah.
Little bit of a breeze. It should be a good day for racing.
Everyone should come into this meet ready to roll because we've got some exciting racing. September 7th to December 31st, our Capital Meet here at Laurel Park. 56 days of racing. Emily, 36 stakes, $3.53 million in purses. And of course, today, a lot of us look forward to Jim McKay Maryland Million Day. That'll be Saturday, October 12th here at Laurel Park. This bit of a cool weather gives us an indication that fall is in the air. And that means Jim McKay Maryland Million Day is not that far away. All righty, 74 degrees, cloudy skies. As Emily said, a little cool. Horses should be feeling frisky today. In the paddock, there's a look outside, fast on the main track, and firm on the turf course. So let's get into today's card. How about the conditions of the opener, Emily?
So today's first race at Laurel Park is a maiden claiming 2016, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. This is for 3 mares and fillies, 3, 4, and 5 years old.
Yep, and so in this race, number 2, Bess's Candy is going to be my top pick. Emily picks that filly second. Synthetic to turf in Maryland, always a good angle for trainer Arnaud Delacour. This filly by Candy Riders had 2 races at Presque Isle Downs on the synthetic. Arnaud Delacour in Maryland, 3 for 9 with that synthetic to turf move, 5 for 32 overall. And a change of equipment too, blinkers off, Emily, on number 2. Bess's Candy, and I don't know, in riding a horse, I know you've ridden horses before with changes of equipment, blinkers on, blinkers off. I love that angle. When blinkers come off a speed horse, you would think maybe they wouldn't have as much speed, but it seems to kind of settle them down a little bit.
I think it can really go either way. It depends on what's needed and why the blinkers were applied in the first place. But I think the change of equipment and coming back to a turf course, first time out on the turf, I think that this horse should have a really good opportunity today at the 5.5.
10 Intel agent, 0 for 10 maiden, but I guess you have to throw this filly in the mix. She's kind of a late kicker on the grass course. Geron Barbosa gets aboard, a Donald Barr trainee. And then the third pick for me will be number 3, and it'll be Sea Shanty from Elizabeth Merriman's barn. 2 winners out of that Penn National race for maiden 25 on the turf. Trainer does exceptionally well with this kind of layoff as well. Hopped at the start last time out, reluctant to load, so she had a couple of excuses in there. And number 4, T. Rose. A 9-race maiden, but she's run a couple of good ones there after the layoff at Laurel, beaten only 4 lengths with a lot of trouble back in April. Comes off of some time away again for Barbara Burdick. Perhaps good for a share, but if you can get her underneath in that triple or the superfecta, may help you out a little bit. I went 2-10, 3-4, Emily, 3, 2, 10, 6 in the opener. Let's move on to race number 2 on the program, and that's on the Dahlia Turf Course. Not a sprint, but a route race, Em.
So we're going a mile and an eighth in the second race at Laurel Park. This is the lifetime claiming race, 30 to 24,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. What do we have?
We have a video that I think you'll like. It's November 19th, third race here at Laurel Park. The maiden breaking first out for Mosey, who came from well off the pace that day, 10th in the field, and rolled through the stretch. 8th pole call was 5th, started to rally, rolled home, widening, going away at the end. Beating Elusive Image and Swing Sammy that day. Then she had some time off. Came back with a strong second after the layoff. Since then, a third. 9th last time out at Parks, but I'm willing to excuse that race. There have been 2 races, 2 winners out of that race. So it comes out of a double key race for trainer Eddie Graham. Number 5, Mosey. Number 6 in here is Kobe's Smile. Second after the layoff for trainer Kevin Boniface. Good effort before the time away at Delaware Park. Second off the layoff on the 5th of Bill. A bit reluctant to load, and then a nice bid, kind of flattened out a little bit. Obviously a sign she needed that race. Number 8, Frère Placer from the Honor Della Cor barn, looking to sweep the double if I could get my top pick home. Let's go number 8, Fair Placer. A blinkers off here for Fair Placer. Another blinkers off change for trainer Honor Della Cor. See a pattern today. One happened in the first race. One pace throughout in that race, but off a good effort. First off, a few months away. At number 7 in here, my 4th pick, Sister Nell, who's kind of a long time non-winners at 2, trying to pluck along there to get that second lifetime score. But she's got some form way back at Aqueduct, way back at Monmouth that would have factored her in the money in here. She's been sixth, third 6 times from 22 starts. Emily, you went 4, 8, 2, and 6. I went 5, 6, 8, and 7. On to race number 3. Third race is for non-winners at 2. Lifetime, scratch the 6, Simon's Choice. Christian Maldonado and number 5, Noble Fish. How about the conditions of race 3?
So this is a 6 furlong race on the dirt. It is for a lifetime claimers, 3-year-olds and up, 12-5 down to 10.
And you went with the 8 in here, and that is Win No Joke. I really wanted to put this gelding on top, but I thought maybe that Super Bourbon can get away with something in this spot. He's got a post near the rail. He's got good early speed. Comes out of a common race at Timonium, won by Don't Get Caught. Couldn't quite keep up going that half mile at Timonium, but he's fast enough at the Big T to chase that 22-1 opening quarter mile. He's always been blessed with good early speed. Angel Cruz has the mount for Donald Barr. I think he'll be the first to the rail. A little concerned that your second pick, number 4, Right Quick, might have some steam to try to take some starch out of him, but with a sharp break, Super Bourbon, I think, will be very tough to catch. Win No Joke for trainer Troy Singh comes off a good effort 2 back at Laurel, a race taken off the turf, fought all the way to the line, lost an unlucky bob there, was not quite fast enough to get up at that half mile at Timonium, but today could close right off the pace going 6 furlongs. Very consistent in the money horse, Win No Joke, and he should have a good pace in front of him to set it up. Number 5, Noble Fish, getting the blinkers off here for trainer Diane Morisi, off a long vacation with an 8th place finish at Penn National. First try here at Laurel Park. I know he's got to go way back to his best race in May of 2023 at Tampa Bay to be a factor, but the blinkers again come off today. They've experimented with blinkers on, blinkers off, didn't work. So I went 2, 8, 9, and 1. Emily went 8, 4, 5, and 2. I think clearly the race will probably go through Win No Joke here. He's going to be the horse that'll be the factor from the 8th pole home.
Looks like it.
Let's go to race number 4 in the program. Race 4 starts another pick 4. Scratch the 7, Kalea Strike. 11, General's Duty. And the 12, Ghostly Prince. Gene Alvelo on number 5, Missionaire. Emily, distance on the turf here on the all-along course of the rail at 0 is what, a mile and the 16th, right? So let's go in the 4th to number 4, the top pick, Elevated Game. That's a horse that we really agree on, I believe. Our first agreement of the day. I went 4, 1, 10, and 3. You went 4, 5, 9, and 1. We'll look at Elevated Game's last race, a win. As a matter of fact, this was a second straight win. He's won 3 of his last 4. And look at his consistency. Since February at Tampa, he's been 1, 2, 3 in every start. He was nursed along in the lead there at Colonial Downs by Michael Sanchez. You get Jamie Rodriguez, Jamie Ness, the lethal combo, and he looks like he may try to do the same thing today. 4, 5, 9, and 1 for Emily. And the 4th race, I went 4, 1, Top of the Street, whose first time on the turf for trainer Felissa Dunn. But I got a feeling this colt will like the grass. He's by an old topper mare called Chatty's on Top. Doesn't ring a bell, but you do some pedigree research. The dam won $272,000 on the grass. So there's got to be a reason that they like him.
I thought this horse looked pretty good today. I mean, he's handy. He ran well on the off track at a mile. The horse looks strong going into the turn. Perhaps with the extra ground today in the outside post position, he might settle in and make a run on the 1.
Yeah, he seems to be a horse who's forwardly placed on the dirt. If they could do the same thing on the turf, and that turf bed comes out with that dam that won 272 grand on the turf, could be a little factor at a price. He's 15 to 1 on the morning line. 4, 110, and 3, 4, 5, 9, and 1 for Emily in race 4. Let's go on to race 5. It starts the Rainbow Pick 6, starting with a clean slate and the new meat scratch for Brother Brad, J.G. Torrealba on the 5. Brooklyn Guy. What do we have here?
So we have an allowance race. It's a mile and a 16th. Never won 4.
And,
on the dirt, 3-year-olds and up.
And Mosler time in here, I think, is going to be a dangerous speed factor. Let's take a look at this colt gelding back in May at Pimlico when he sat right off the pace, beating Giordani and energy efficient Giordani, certainly a confirmed closer, but he was kind of in a 3-way battle for the lead in the opening furlong, taken back out of the battle that day, then he rebid to rate. He rated and then came back to rebid and won chugging along by a daylight here back at Pimlico in May. His last race was a sprint against the mighty Band Camp. I had a little trouble in that race, but then was 3 wide on a contested early pace. That's not his favorite distance, going 7. Sprint to route. Horses coming off a fast sprint race with opening miles, half miles that are a little too tough for them, stretching out to 2 turns can often be deadly. I think he's going to be tough today. That's Mosler time. You got him second. You went to Capcom. I can see this horse with shoe trainer Troy Singh. Looks like he's found the heartbeat for him the last 2 races.
So this horse has been running really well, and he's familiar with the distance. He's in good company, and it looks like a horse that's kind of just hitting his best stride in the afternoon. He likes the distance, and I think coming from the 1 hole, he has a very good chance of sort of getting away clean and making a good entry into this mile and a 16th race.
Now, he had the inside post last time out. He settled off a hot contested pace, had a good trip home and up to win. Look at who he beat. He beat Giordani, same horse that Mosler time beat. The video back there we showed you a few moments ago. He's a factor. He's kind of the now horse in the race. So I went 3-2-1-6. Emily 1-3-2-6 in race 5 to kick off that Rainbow Pick 6. Good luck with your Pick 6 wagers. And we'll be back after this short break with a look at our late Pick 5. I have a ticket for you, more videos, more stats on Today at the Races. All right, we're back on Today at the Races with a look at our late Pick 5 and going to the Dahlia Turf Course at a mile and a 16th. Lots to cover in a big 12-horse field, Emily. First of all, we have a video, and then we have a stat from Hugh McMahon's barn, vaccination, kind of a confirmed closer in this race. Take a look at the video first of all, and give you a Pick 5 ticket today. Here's my late Pick 5 using 2, 7, and 8. 7th race 2, 3, and 4. 8th race 3 and 7. 9th race 1, 3, 6. And I'm waiting to that single in the last leg, and a horse that Emily and I agree on in the last race, number 7, Boss is a Pal from the Suzanne Stettinius barn. Well, I'm using vaccination, but he's kind of a bit of a closer, so that concerns me a bit in this spot. I have a little bit of a long shot maybe on the pace. 7, Who's Counting, who's done some good running on the grass, should be fit. And number 8, Stellar Loot, kind of has a good stretch kick as well. Kind of has a tendency to find some trouble, but if he gets a good trip today, he could get the job done. And here's Vaccination, a video back from April 27th at Laurel. Good allowance race, restricted company, was 7th at the 8th pole and came rolling on the outside. There he is on the outside. He had post 1 that day, but Figure Lynch got him out in the clear, and if he's in the clear and he rolls, looks like he's still not going to get there. He's still not going to get there, and there he is. He gets up in time. Very thrilling stretch run. The Hugh McMahon barn, and look at this stat. The horse has been off since June 22nd. You've got a stat here, Emily, from the Hugh McMahon barn. We're going to show you on the video right now on graphic Vaccination.
So Hugh McMahon has horses that from 2 to 6 months in allowance company. He has 7 for 29.
7 for 29 in the winner's circle. That's tough.
So that's a pretty good average, and I think that he preps well, and he'll send this horse out in good form, and he won't mind the little refresher that he got.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the combo of a hot barn with this kind of layoff. A horse is in form. He's going to need a little bit of a pace in front of him. We'll see if he get it today. Number 8, Stellar Loot, comes off a strong race, beating a length and change. Again, a little bit of a closer in here, but not as far back as Vaccination. Who's Counting is an interesting horse. He should be fit. This guy's won at 2 miles. He was second, actually, at 2 miles back October last year. Fair Hill over yielding turf at a flat race there for trainer Sean McDermott, and he likes his course. He's won over this Laurel turf course, 2 wins from 6 tries. Interesting, perhaps, form shaded a little bit by the last few races over the hurdles, and then a 6th place finish at Delaware. But don't count him out. He's got some early speed to stay close. 2, 8, 7, 11, 6, 2, 4, and 12 for Emily in race number 6. Our 7th race is our start of our late pick 4, races 7, 8, 9, and 10. And how about the conditions of race number 7 at 6 furlongs? Optional allowance claiming, scratch 1, the distractor, and the 6, Sir Alfred James. We both agree on the top pick there in number 4, Feeling Woozy. What do you think about Feeling Woozy?
So I thought that this horse looked great today. I think that he is coming back to the distance. I think that he prefers the distance. He sort of has a tendency to hold that pattern where he goes a little long, he goes a little short, he comes back, he goes forth. I think that he is just right today, going from the 1 1/16 to the 7 furlongs, now to the 6. He was really close consecutively both times out. Past 2 times out, he's running decent company, and he's only gotten beat 2 lengths.
Yeah, and his last race was exceptional. We're going to look at the video right now. August the 11th here at Laurel Park, where he was 3rd going 7 furlongs. Now, it does shorten up this afternoon, but I thought a really, really solid effort. He was in a hot pace much of the trip, chasing the hot pace on the outside, 3 and 4 wide, flattened out a little bit. He tracked the pace 3 deep. He made a good bid on the turn. It was a top effort. I thought it was probably one of his top efforts. Beyer speed figure wise, not his best number. That was a 98 when he got the lone lead back on a speed bias track December 1st last year. But as far as sprints go, that was his top effort, hoping he comes to that race today. However, Hurricane J has a good amount of early speed. He's going to be the one to catch in this spot, and I can see why you've got that horse in the picks. And number 2, 7's 11. Back class, blinkers off. Natural speed horse indeed. He was second to post time back at the General George. Angel Cruz, very familiar with him. He's won a couple of stakes on 7's 11, the Howard Bender and the Maryland Million Sprint as well. So a pure sprinter looking to get back in best form is a little bit of a sign that maybe he's coming back around. You were there for the race at Timonium when he was behind Accelerator. Good 3rd place finish, and for a while there I thought he would win, but he was kind of in the 2 path. Tried to rally a little bit at that 3-turn mile, coming back to the sprint, 3rd off a time away. Should be sharp enough. 4, 5, 2, 3 for Emily, 4, 2, 3, and 5 in race 7. Let's move along to the 8th race, and it's on the All Along. So moving along to the All Along turf course with a rail at the 0 setting, 5.5 furlong, 2nd wire finish, and scratch number 6, Patinga's Twin. What do we have in the offing here?
So I liked the 3, 6, 5, 2.
Yeah, and we agree. Number 3, Midday Image in here for trainer David Jacobson in the 8th race on the program. 3-5-2-7 for
That's
Emily.
right.
3-7-2-5 for me. Midday Image, 2 races back, beaten only a neck in a 3-way frantic photo finish at Saratoga, but had a nice gallop out in that race. I watched that race, actually played him that day at 32-1, and wrote down in my program, needs a little bit of a class drop. Well, he's in for the $55,000 today. He likes this course, 8 tries over the grass here, 3 wins, 15 lifetime wins, everything you want to see in a veteran coming back here to a turf course he likes with just a slight drop here for trainer David Jacobson. He's going to be a factor in the stretch. I don't think you're going to get much price on him. Searching around for maybe a little bit better price. Number 7 Had to Have Him off a troubled trip here at Laurel Park behind. The horse that beat him is against him again today. Number 2 Swill. He steadied on the turn, had trouble in that race, but you see back at Laurel back mid-June, he was second behind When I Get to Heaven in that race. So he's had some issues. He's a bit reluctant to load, can be a little bit of a case at the starting gate. You got to kind of finesse him into the gate. Then he kind of finds ways to get himself into trouble. With a good break from the gate, he's going to be a factor. He's got a good outside draw today. I don't think anybody's going to get in his way from the outside. If he's not his own worst enemy today, I think he's going to show more early speed in this 5.5 furlong turf sprint. 3-5-2-7, 3-7, 2 and 5. Well, race 8. Let's go on to race 9 in the program, and for field of 6. The field of 6 with no scratches in the 9th race. What are the conditions here in our 9th?
So this is an allowance claiming race for 40,000, going 5.5 on the dirt. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races other than.
And we kind of disagree here, but I can see. I mean, you like a horse that thrives in the Jamie Ness barn. Number 6, Lady Zeta. Looking at the race pace-wise, it looks like number 3, Empress Diona, the 4, CC Royal, coming back from his Canadian foray for trainer Ham Smith, will provide a lively pace up front, going 5.5. I think anonymously is going to sit another PT Perfect Triple Life here for trainer Jose Corrales, 11-time winner. Anonymously he's won 4 races here at Laurel from 8 tries. He's been behind some quality horses in his last few starts, including Disco Ebo, Tappin' Josie when he was in form, and for a while there went on a tear over this dirt strip at Laurel back November of last year, November and December. He won 4 races straight. He's got sufficient pace in front of him today with a good inside draw. The speed's just to his outside, so if he can save some ground and then maybe pick a way through, either taking advantage of an inside opening through the stretch or maybe coming through between horses when it counts, he'll be a factor in that last 16th of a mile. Just a really nice, cool mare to see run. She likes to win. Number 3 in here is Empress Diona. If she can get away and outkick CC Royal, but given CC Royal's speed over this course, the last time she was back here at Laurel, may be a tough thing to do. The 3 and the 4 look like the speed in the race, but she's certainly going to be a factor to try to take them as far as she can and as fast as she can. 5 Wonder Girl I used underneath. Is she a slightly better filly on the turf? They're keeping her in the race here on this dirt race, even though she's come off of consecutive turf runs, not beaten very far against short horses, including Alebreva and Visby. So 6-5-4-1 for you.
Dave, I have to point out real quick that this race should set up really nicely for Lady Zeta. It's got a lot of natural speed. I think that this horse is a really hard knocker. I mean, she's a 5-year-old, and she just kind of keeps showing up. She shows up for everybody, and I have to point out that it might set up really nicely for her coming out of the 6th hole.
I could have gone really a number of ways in there, including Lady Zeta. Back in the Ness barn. Look at how many times this horse has been in the Ness barn. Claimed away from Ness, back to Ness. Claimed away from Ness, back to Ness. They really know what makes this mare tick. At 5.5 off those 2 turf routes, with a good clean trip on the outside, she's going to be tough. Could be a 3-way finish in the spot.
It might
We'll see.
be.
Let's go to that's it for the 9th race. 1, 3, 6 and 5, 6, 5, 4, and 1 for Emily. Race number 10 of the day.
136 with 5,654 scheduled with
Let's go to race number 10 on the turf, and race 10 at 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia turf course, all in right now. And this looks like an open affair. You got 10-year-old Love You Much, who hasn't won in a long time, but we do agree that Boss is a Pal and Suzanne Stitenius are going to be the ones rolling in the stretch here, and Emma, you've got her on top as well.
Yes, I mean, this horse, again, I sort of just reiterate what I said in the last race, but there's a little speed in here. There's a little speed. This horse is very, very quick, and I think that today The conditions of the turf course, I think, are going to suit him, and I think he's just going to skip right along and be happy and sit right off the main chunk of hot speed and just make one run at them.
She's gone wire to wire before, but I think
Absolutely.
Bosses of Pal's best MO perhaps is coming from slightly off of it. One thing that catches the eye to me is that jockey Jamie Rodriguez is riding for Suzanne Stettinius. Suzanne Stettinius, Jamie Rodriguez together, 3 for 11. All 3 wins for Suzanne Stettinius have come with this horse. He likes to ride this horse. He knows what makes him tick through the stretch. Beaten last time out only 3 lengths by Boats A Rockin', an accomplished 13-time winner at Colonial Downs and a starter allowance race, back in for the 12-5 this afternoon. Jockey trainer, strong stat, particularly with this horse. So we agree, 7, and that's my single in the final leg of the pick 5, hopefully alive after the first 4 races. 8, Big Rowdy Dan is out, by the way, Emily, should be out as a main track only runner. Number 2 in here is Solardi, coming in for trainer David Jacobson and dropping in. Was 8th behind Surveillance, a 10-time winner on the turf last time out, coming back to kinder company. That horse is just shy of the $1 million mark in career earnings. Number 5 in here, Native Thunder, was a $12,000 purchase back at the Fezzik-Tipton July digital sale. Trainer Victor Carrasco bought him for MJM Stable, and Victor Carrasco Jr. is strong with turf sprints. Lifetime 4 of 13 and a positive return on investment, $3.54. So this guy looks like he's a turf router, but the trainer does good things and a positive ROI in this privately purchased off the Fezzik-Tipton digital sale purchase in Native Thunder. 7, 2, 5, and 6. We agree. 7, Suzanne Stettinius, Jamie Rodriguez, Bosses of Pal, the one to beat in the finale here at Laurel Park. And that'll wrap up the handicapping section for today at the races. Let's get on to our best bet and value play in our lightning round. Emily, I'm going to go with the Mosler time in the 5th race, stretching out after that strong sprint with a strong pace up ahead. If he can replicate that race back at Pimlico, sitting right off the pace or perhaps trying to take them all the way, our value play will be in the 2nd race. A horse that was 7th at the 8th pole in first start, broke maiden first out for trainer Eddie Graham, the stretch running Mosey, 8-1 in the morning line in the 2nd race. And I know, Emma, we're going to be watching Angel Cruz today.
Absolutely.
He's nearing a career milestone.
That's pretty impressive.
1,000 wins, just 3 away. 997 sitting on today, and Angel's got a lot of live mounts on today's program. Today could be the day, so good luck, Angel Cruz, nearing that 1,000 win mark. 29 minutes to post time, finishing right on time, fast and firm. Thanks for joining me today, Emily.
Thank you for having me, and safe and happy racing.
Good luck today.